Today's video, I'm going to walk you through all of the inputs of a six-figure coaching business. This is what I do and what I have every single fitness coach do that I work with. Assuming you have an offer built, this is what you do to get in your leads, to nurture them, to sign them, and what to do after that as well. So let's get straight into it. First, starting at lead flow. What is lead flow? Lead flow is the actual conversations, developing the conversations, making them, and bringing them in, okay? Overall, the system that determines how many qualified leads I can create on demand, or you can create on demand. Lead flow is going to determine how many opportunities can actually exist in the business, like how many conversations, how many clients you can actually sign, all of this, right? Because you can only sign however many people you actually bring in and have watching your content. How selective I'm actually allowed to be, or how selective my clients are allowed to be with the people they work with. How fast I can actually scale without pressure, or again, my clients can scale without pressure. When this input is strong, selling is very optional. You can choose who you want to sell to and when. When it's weak, everything feels very, very forced. A big thing fitness coaches will deal with, they will have very poor lead flow. They'll have no leads, no qualified leads to even deal with. So they start working with people they don't want to, right? They start feeling like they have to force people to actually get on the phone. That all happens when you have poor lead flow. There's two sources of lead flow. Two sources that I use, two sources that you can use overall. High TAM short form content. What is this? This is going to be content that speaks to a wide, broad audience, broader than your actual ICP. The reason you do this is so you're targeting your ideal follower, which is a more broad version of your ICP, and doing so, your ICP will live inside of it. The importance of this, the importance of targeting a more broad audience, is that it allows you higher volumes of opportunity, right? It allows you a bigger net to actually catch. And I would much rather go fishing with a giant net and catch a lot of the fish I don't want, but also catch more that I do, than to hope and pray that the ones I do catch are the ones I actually want, right? And in doing so, you can have a high TAM and its total addressable market, a high total addressable market of 100,000 views, where only maybe 10% is actually your ideal clients, or low TAM. Maybe you have a hyper-specific video that has only 10,000 views, but 50%, you're still going to get more ideal clients and more eyeballs and more potential clients with a higher TAM, more broad content. I would rather run reach a larger audience where it's a smaller ICP than a tiny audience with a very high ICP, okay? High TAM content maximizes total opportunity. And the audience is intentionally broader because the ideal client, like I said, lives inside of the ideal follower. My ideal follower is online coaches, fitness coaches in general, or people who want to make money online with fitness or online coaching. Not specifically one range of income or anything like that, even though that is my ideal client. My ideal client is fitness coaches between like a few thousand and 10,000 a month. However, with my content, I'm targeting all of them. Some of my biggest or my best performing videos that brought me in the most ICP followers were videos where I didn't target online fitness coaches hardly at all. I targeted a wider audience, like I said, of just online coaches in general, people who make money online in general, or maybe fitness coaches. So that is the first way to actually bring people in, is with high TAM short form content. Once you actually get those people in, you move to the second source of lead flow, which is outbound DMs. What I have for me and what I have all of my followers is automated outreach. We use AI to outreach to every single individual follower that you get. So all of the fitness coaches that I get, or all of the fitness clients that my clients are getting, or the fitness leads, automatically reached out to with AI, and rapport is being built. Second, after they're actually automated and reached out with rapport, profile is being reviewed. So a profile is being reviewed for any actual qualifying insights. Things like posting frequency, location, their bio, their age. Now, depending on who you are and depending on who your ideal client is, you're going to be looking for different things. Third is the actual qualifying outside of business-related interests. So fundamental rapport. All right, this is an example that I had. Someone followed, this is an automated message, said, where are you from? They answered where they from, chilling. And this person went on to then become a client because they came in from one of the very high TAM short form content, got automated message, reached out to them, nurtured, and put through the reviewing, eventually became a client. Now, you are not going to get clients off of just lead flow alone and just off of high TAM short form content alone. You need a little bit more to it. And what comes next in the process is actually your nurturing. Nurturing is the pre-sale belief transfer. Nurturing someone correctly is going to allow you to have better call quality, have less objections. People are going to be less susceptible to price sensitivity, where that's like when you say a price and they're hesitant towards it, and it's a faster speed of decision making. This is overall the system that builds trust, clarity, and buying intent before a sales conversation ever happens. And there's two main sources of nurturing. There's belief-driven middle of funnel content, which is basis of all objection removal. Doing this correctly will correct broken beliefs, will reframe the real problem, shift the buyer's mental load, and make their current approach feel insufficient. Overall, solving every single limiting belief and pain that they actually have. So individuals have certain limiting beliefs, and I have videos solving each one of those beliefs, shifting the beliefs and actually solving the problems. This is the most important part of content overall. Your closing rate will improve. You're going to reduce price resistance, shorter decision time, like I said, and calls are going to turn into just confirmations, not convincing. If your sales calls feel like you're convincing people every single time, then you're doing a poor job at middle of funnel content. What happens if you don't fix this? You will get attention, but no buyers. This is where you see where fitness influencers or even yourself will have a lot of views, but they won't have consistent people that are interested in their project or their process or the program. People take value but don't act on it. They're going to learn from you, but they're never actually going to take the step forward and work with you. This is because you're providing value, you're not shifting beliefs. Sales calls, again, feel like convincing rather than just confirming what they already knew, and price becomes a problem where you feel like you have to lower your price over and over and over. This happens a lot when people post value alone. You hear middle funnel content is value, so that's all you post. You're going to get an educated audience that doesn't actually move forward with you because there's low urgency, high friction to buy, and they're going to respect you, but there isn't going to be actual authority in place. Now, like I said, each one of my videos shift a limiting belief that people have. Now, I'm going to show you an example. Something that might be like an objection that I got was, what would it actually look like to work with you? And because I got that question, I showed them. I showed the answer. Scaling fitness coach from 1K to 200K in 60 minutes. These are all actual videos that I have. And if you're seeing this video, I recommend that you go watch the others because they go very in-depth into a lot of different processes and a lot of different areas. But every single video I post has one purpose, and it's to shift the beliefs of someone into the beliefs of a buyer. And that is the whole purpose of content as a whole. Second source of nurturing is going to be private value touchpoints, the actual setting process. Shifting beliefs of individuals in the setting process using pre-made sales assets, which are going to be long-form content, which is going to be these YouTube videos here. You're going to send them the corresponding assets. If someone has an issue with any of these things, right? If someone has an issue with having broke leads, I have an asset solving that. If someone has an issue with not being able to bring in leads in the first place with their content, boom, solve that. I have a process solving every single limiting belief that someone could have. And because of that, I'm able to have people want to work with me without me having to convince them, without me having to feel like I am forcing them to hop on a call. Why this works? It feels very, very custom. When someone has an issue and I'm able to send them the solution to that and solve all these little problems for them, I'm able to get them results, and now they're going to want my help to get them to further results, which I can't do with just content. Another thing, it receives the perceived competence. They know how competent you actually are in your area. If you're able to just give them free value all the time on problems that they're solving and they don't have to pay you for it, now they're going to know how good the actual paid information is. And it creates expectation before speaking. When you do this, eventually you will become the go-to person for people to go to for information. And when that happens, they're pretty much sold already. And at that point, you do just get to hop them onto a call. Without this, without having these assets and these sales assets that you can send to people, calls feel very cold. They feel like this is the first time you've ever talked to someone, the first time that you've ever actually been interacting with them, and that shouldn't be the case. You should feel, and they should feel, like they know you already by the time they hop on the call. It's going to feel like you have to convince them, and you're going to get the same objections on repeat. Any objections you get, you can then make a video solving them. That's what I have my clients do. That's what I do. And that is how I'm able to be on top of the game and have less followers than a lot of people, and have my clients need less followers than a lot of people and get better actual results. Now, that brings us to the third point, the actual signing and onboarding. Maybe the most insightful part of the whole process. And this is why. The whole purpose of signing and onboarding is to turn belief and value debt into a simple decision, okay? Belief in your program and giving them into value debt, putting them in value debt by providing so much value they feel like they owe you, turns it into a simple decision. Should I work with them or should I not? A lot of the time, they're going to work with you. Then, once you actually get them on, extract the right information you need to improve the system. So let's start with signing. The true point of signing is they already trust you, they believe that they have a problem, and they already expect a premium price. That's what's true to this point. By the time you actually get to signing a client, all of this should be true before you pitch a call. This way, the call becomes a confirmation, not a persuasion. You will have a higher close rate, minimal objections, and a higher price tolerance because of value debt. By providing value and by doing these private value touch points, you're able to get people to feel all these things before they hop on a call with you. If they trust you already, they're going to believe what you say. They're going to believe that the program is actually good. If they already believe they have a problem, they're going to want the solution to that. And if they see your value and expect a premium price, they're not going to get scared away. Once you do actually sign them, once you onboard them, the purpose of this is to turn clients into data. Onboarding captures core pain points, buying triggers, objections they almost had or did have, language they use to describe their own problem. These are golden tickets for your marketing. If you can use all of the pain points that you got, the objections that you got, the language they used, and what caused them to actually buy, and put it back into your content, there is no better information that you get, no better insight you can get, and you will be able to attract more leads, get them more nurtured, and overall solve all your problems. I'm not going to show you this here, but I have a list of questions I ask every single time I get someone on my program, and a list that I give my clients for them to ask as well, which will give you so much insight. You now know exactly what to post to get clients. Overall, post about what made them buy, and it turns into a feedback loop. Middle funnel content is going to remove all the objections. It's going to give them clarity on what the actual assets are. They're going to get clarity on what the actual, your actual messaging is. So they're going to know exactly what you are like and what it's like to work with you. It's going to make sales in the future even easier because now you're going to be able to take all that information and place it back into the content, which is going to just improve everything all again. It's a loop, all right? Your content improves, your conversion improves, your closing speed improves. Sales becomes very easy when content does the hard work. And onboarding turns sales into insights. So this is a very short video, but this is the ultimate process and exactly what you truly need to lock in if you want inputs of a six-figure coaching business. Now, I know this video was super short. Rewatch it, take notes, and if you want my one-on-one help actually plugging this into your business, or you simply just want to see what it would look like, then click the link down below, book a call with me, and we can make that happen. Or go follow me over on Instagram at @ywesternlover as well and ask me any questions there. I hope you liked this video today. It's a very informational video, not an entertaining one, and I hope you have a good day.